How many of you have asked whether or not the narcissistic person can change? It's an effort to try to sort out whether or not you can ultimately have a relationship with these people, right? The problem is that we all know the answer to this question, don't we? In fact, let's do something. Let's all answer this question together. On the count of 3, can narcissists change? Write your comment down below. 1, 2, and 3. Yes! I know some of you right now are saying, wait a minute, I started typing no, Kevin, because I thought narcissists can't change. Well, listen, that's technically incorrect. Because the truth is narcissists, not only can they change, but they're always changing. They have to change. Their livelihood, their supply train depends on their ability to change. Narcissistically abusive people are always changing, always transforming, always morphing, always evolving, always shedding one skin and putting on another. Like chameleons changing colors to fit in whatever environment is going to suit their needs. They're masters of change. Are they not? You see, the question of whether or not narcissistically abusive people can change is the wrong question that we need to be focusing on. Because if we're focusing on whether or not a narcissist can change, which is an outward external thing, that's what change is, then we're missing the internal thing, which is what we really need to focus on in life so that we can stay out of abusive relationships. Let's get a little further into this. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, before I get into this very important message on whether or not narcissists can change, I want to let you know I'm here to support you. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. Telephone calls and video calls are available through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. So if you need some one-on-one time to help you process a difficult, toxic relationship, head on down there, schedule some time with me. I'd love to talk with you. Also, I do have a coaching program, and my coaching program is live and in person each and every day. It's not pre-recorded. I am there to go over topics dealing with narcissistic abuse and to answer your questions. In addition to that, there's a community that's founded upon helping you to stay no contact and to move into a toxic-free 2023. So if you're looking for a community to join, head on down there. Consider joining the Royal We community. Hey, there's going to be some meetups later on this year too, which I am personally looking forward to, so I can get out from behind this camera and actually get out there with y'all and meet and hang out and challenge ourselves to do some butt-kicking things, right? Shock our system into a toxic-free 2023. That's what I'm really all about. Now, let's get into this topic of whether or not narcissistically abusive people can change. Very confusing, because the problem is that they do change over and over and over again. This actually creates a problem, keeps you stuck in this cycle. The very thing you're questioning is the very thing that they do, which is why you're stuck. Can they change? Of course they can change. And so they keep changing, they keep evolving, their colors keep shifting, yet you're still stuck with the same question because that's not really what you're looking for. You don't want to know if somebody can change, because if somebody can change for you, if a narcissist can change from one moment to the next how they're treating you, well, what does that tell you necessarily about the inside of the person? The inward workings of the person? It says absolutely nothing. It says you're dealing with somebody who can change, who can shapeshift, who can pretend. And God only knows however long they're able to pretend for. You see, you don't want to know whether or not a person can change. You want to be able to look at a person and assume that the core things will never change. And then you want to determine whether or not that's going to be good enough for you. One of the things that I do within the Royal We coaching program is spend a week focusing on breaking the trauma bonds. And in this week, we process and we understand and we look at the character attributes, not just the external things that we would like to see change on a shallow level. No. We get to the things that are unchangeable as far as levels of commitment, loyalty, safety are concerned in a relationship. How safe do you feel around these people? How loyal? How trustworthy are they? Are you able to talk? Do you feel like you're walking on eggshells? Is there devaluation? Are they supportive mentally, emotionally, physically? Because a lot of these things can't change outwardly because these are inward things. So while a narcissistically abusive person can show you a good time, can change from being angry at you to making you laugh, can change from doing this to doing that, while all that can change, the inward things that cause you to feel a certain way in the relationship never change. And so what we want to do is start to write, and I'll challenge you to do this right now, any of you who are watching this video. Get out some paper and start to write the things that you would like to change about the narcissist. And here's what you're going to discover as you write these things. This is a helpful tool, I promise you. As you write the things that you want to change about a narcissistic person, keep in mind what you're really trying to do is figure out a way that you can salvage a relationship or make somebody, try to like somebody more than you do, right? The first thing to understand is if you're trying to change a person, narcissist or not, the truth is you don't like them. Let's just start there, right? And so that should be enough for most of you to say, well, what am I even doing in this toxic relationship? I don't like the person. I want to change them. For crying out loud, right? Anytime you want to change somebody, just admit you don't like them. Okay, but if that's not enough, if you're not able to just admit you don't like them, and that's why you want to change them, write down these things that you want to change, right? Maybe you want to change that you want to communicate better. There's no communication, so I want that to change. There's no intimacy, I want that to change. I don't feel safe. I want that to change. They're financially irresponsible. I want that to change. They don't talk with me or spend time with me. I want that to change. They devalue me. I want that to change. They don't listen. They don't pay attention, blah, blah, blah. On and on and on. Write these things down. And now here's what we want to do. Assume that these things will never change at the core level. That's right. Assume they will never change. Okay, again, we're not talking about their transformation from being mean to kind. They're two-faced, swapping back and forth. We're not talking about them going from being a churchgoer to an outlaw biker. Because again, they morph. They can do that type of stuff, right? We're talking about the ways in which they treat you. Write them all down. Assume that those things will never change. Then ask yourself this. If these things never change, am I okay with that in my life? Do I want to build a relationship with that? Can I build a relationship with that? And you have to mentally and emotionally project the future of your relationship and what it would look like if none of those things changed. You have to be able to ask yourself honestly if it's going to work for you. That's the most important thing. And if the answer is no, that these things, if they never change, they're not going to work for you, then you really have to be the one to change, right? And by change, meaning you got to change location, you got to change your distance from the person, you got to change answering the phone when they ring, you got to change your view of them, you got to change your association with them. You. Right? The goal, ultimately, in life in general, to avoid toxic relationships, you ultimately want to find somebody, friends, people, family, community, that you don't want to change. Anytime you are in a situation or relationship and you want to change it, let's look at that as a huge red flag. Only gravitate and move towards and accept relationships in your life based on not needing anything to change. The connection is so great. It's so legit. It makes sense that you're not trying to change it. That's what you want, because that means at a core level, you resonate. It means you fit like two pieces of a puzzle to make a bigger picture. They're what you need to help progress you to where you want to go. You're what they need to help progress them. This is the image in a relationship of being equally yoked. That's what partnership is all about. Ideally, that's what marriage would be all about, is finding that partner that you don't need to change. And the same is true, by the way, with friends. You don't want to change your friends. If you want to change them, you're already in over your head. You're already in a bad spot. The same with family. If you are still dealing with narcissistic family members, parents, siblings, whatever, who you want to change, treat me better, do this, blah, blah, blah. Sure, they can go from treating you mean to treating you nice, from being angry at you to laughing at you. They could do that all day long, which will keep you in confusion, by the way. They're constant changing. Or you can at a core level say, the fact that I want anything to change, all of this and any of this to change, the fact that I want to change is an indication that I don't like it. I don't like them. I don't like the core level. And they can pretend and hop back and forth all day long. They can change their colors like chameleons on me all day long. And I'm not dealing with that. That's part of what I don't like. I think instead of wondering whether or not we can change narcissistically abusive people, I think we just need to be honest and say, I don't like who this person is at a core level. I don't resonate with that. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't live my life that way. I don't need to associate with that. And instead, get back on your path, stay focused on who you are, where you're going, and allow the people to come in that you don't want to change. Instead of wanting to change, you want to learn from and you want to give to. Let's work on that. Amen. Listen, as I said before, I'm here to support you. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I do take telephone calls as well as video calls, Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. I'm available now. Schedule some time with me. I'd love to talk with you. And I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We.